In today's program, Connecting Cultures, what do we know about Uyghur dances? The China dance is part of the material heritage of the Uyghur people. What musical instruments do the Uyghurs have? These are Uyghur national instruments. This is nai and this is rabab. Both of these instruments are very ancient. What is the peculiarity of the Uyghur manti? The Uyghurs have many types of manti. They differ in filling and the type of dough. The hero of today's episode is a representative of the Uyghur people, Guzel Rozieva. Guzel is a wonderful wife and an exemplary mother. She shares the culture of the Uyghur people with the younger generation with great pleasure. Today, she will talk in detail about the peculiarities of her people and the similarities that Kazakhs and Uighurs share. I'm Guzel Rozieva, and I represent the Uyghur people. My ancestors moved to Kazakhstan about 2 centuries ago, so we consider ourselves Kazakh citizens. My grandfather calls himself local because he has been living in Kazakhstan for many years. My homeland is the village of Shelek. I was born and raised there. I'm 36 years old. After graduating from school, I came to Almaty and studied at the Kazakh National Medical University to become a pediatrician. Now I'm a mother of 3 children. Recently, I have been mainly engaged in social work. The village of Shelek in the Yenbekshi Kazakh district of the Almaty region is a place that united representatives of different nationalities. People love this place for its beautiful landscapes and clean air. Guzel has warm recollections about her childhood years that she spent in the Kazakh village. When I recall my childhood, my eyes fill with tears. It was a great childhood, and I was very happy. Shelek is a very interesting place. Our street is a small model of the entire Kazakhstan because Kazakhs, Uyghurs, and Russians live there, as well as Germans and Ukrainians. The Greeks also lived on our street. Everyone lived in peace and harmony. We all shared our joy, ate one bread, and drank water from the same spring. These are just wonderful memories. Today, Guzel is a mother of 3 children. She teaches them things she learned from her parents, and they in turn passed on to their daughter not only traditional human values, but also thirst for knowledge and respect towards the language of the people with whom they live.
Қазақ тілді қайдан білесіз десеңіз, мен нақты айта алмаймын. Өйткені кішкентайымнан сөйлеп біліп жатырмын.
I cannot say where and when I learned the Kazakh language. I have been speaking it for as long as I can remember. Due to the fact that I know my native Uyghur language well, it's very easy for me to speak Kazakh too. Because we're fraternal peoples, we belong to the Turkic language group.
Тілдері ұқсас. Менің анашым 40 жыл бойы Қазақ мектебінде.
My mother taught Russian language and literature at school for 40 years. Despite the fact that she's retired today, she continues to tirelessly give children quality education and proper upbringing. And my father has worked among Kazakhs all his life.
Ал папамыз болса, ол да қазақтардың арасында жұмыс істеп жүрді.
Over 200,000 Uyghurs live in Kazakhstan. Since Kazakhs and Uighurs are fraternal people, they have a lot in common.
Қазақ пен Uyghur халқы ол бауырлас халықтар болғасын.
Our peoples have a lot in common. Attitude to life, attitude to religion. We have similar languages and of course, we're similar in our hospitality. We will always set a rich table for the guest. We also have similar wedding and folk rituals. Of course, there are differences, but overall, we're very similar. In our respect for the elders and assistants, to young people.
Бірақ сонда да жалпы алған кезде ұқсастықтар өте көп. Үлкендерді құрметтейміз, кішілерді ізеттейміз деген сияқты.
Guzel, who appreciates Kazakh customs, considers the rite of Tusau kesu, cutting of the feathers, to be important. Although the Uyghurs don't have such a tradition, Guzel conducted it for all her children when they took their first steps.
Қазақ мәдениетінде маған ұнайтын дәстүр ол тұсау кесу.
I really like this rite. Uyghurs do not perform this rite. According to this rite, when a child is 1 year old, he undergoes the rite Tusau kesu. His legs are bound by a party-colored rope in a figure-8 knot. Usually, a respected person cuts the rope, manacles, and helps the child to make his first step. This rite is symbolical and intended to promote the child's prosperity. Then, they throw a big party to celebrate this rite. I enjoyed very much.
Тұсауын кестіріп, батасын беріп, жақсы тілектерді беріп, той жасау сол маған өте ұнайды.
Kazakhstan is a country that can be proud of its unity. Friendship and peace is one of the most important values of the Kazakh people, which unites more than 130 ethnic groups.
Қазақстанда көп ұлттың
The fact that all nations in Kazakhstan live in peace and unity under one roof is, of course, our achievement.
әрине бұл біздің жетістігіміз.
Guzel is a member of the Uyghur dance ensemble Dolan-Uygur. This year, it turns 5 years old. In a short time, the dance troupe has won a number of national and international competitions. Dolan's dancers performed in Almaty, Nur-Sultan, Tashkent, Bishkek, and Izmir and became very popular. The head of the ensemble is Kese-samuryn.
Біздің ансамбльдің мақсаты, құрылу мақсаты, сол халқымыздың билерін
Our goal is to preserve the culture of our people and pass it on to the next generation. Our repertoire includes not only Uyghur dances, there are also Kazakh, Uzbek dances, and others.
Басқа ұлттың билерін билеміз. Мысалға, Kazakh, Uzbek.
Representatives of different nationalities work in our ensemble: Kazakhs, Russians, and Uyghurs.
Басқа ұлт өкілдері жұмыс істейді. Мысалға, Kazakh, орыс және Uyghurlar бізде көп.
I would like to introduce you to the dance ensemble Dolan. Dilnas, Barman, and our leader Kese-samuryn. Please enjoy Uyghur folk dance Kese-samuryn.
Uyghur халқының мәдени мұрасының бірі ол чина биі, кесе биі десек те болады.
The real cultural heritage for the Uyghur people is the bowl dance. This is a very beautiful and difficult dance. After all, performers must build a pyramid of cups on their heads and dance beautifully at the same time. The bowls are not glued. Moreover, they are filled with water. Finally, we sort out the bowls and pour water beautifully from one bowl to another.
Ақырындеп соны құямыз.
Kese-samuryn бидің ерекшелігі бұл Uyghur халқы.
The peculiarity of the Kese-samuryn dance is that the Uyghurs have been dancing it since the 12th century.
Билеп отырған би.
Бұл бидің көне екендігіне көптеген дәлелдер бар.
There is a lot of evidence that this is an ancient dance. These are paintings on the walls of Pucha, Kumu, Turpan, Dinkuan, and other cave temples. Chinese records also contain information about this dance.
Суреттер. Қытай жазбаларда да сол би туралы мәліметтер қалған. Бұл биді тек қана әйелдер емес, еркектер де биледі.
This dance is performed not only by women but also by men. Instead of cups, on their heads they have a samovar, a plate or kettle, and so they dance. This dance is a testament to the generosity, kindness, and hospitality of the Uyghur people.
Сөзсіз де дәлелдеп бере алады.
Traditional Uyghur clothing is rich in flowers and beautiful ornaments. Uyghurs most often sew clothes from soft fabrics and embroider and decorate every detail.
Қазір үстімізде тұрған
This is a Uyghur costume. It's made for the stage, but in general, our people have different types of clothing, depending on where they live.
үлгілері бұл. Uyghur халқында киім түрлері көп. Мысалға, өз тұрған жерлерге байланысты.
For example, Dolan, Atush, Hotan, Kumul, these are all regions. For example, if we take the Kumul style, then floral ornaments dominate there.
Стилін алсақ, құмыл стилінде барлығы бізде гүл бейнелері бейнеленген.
The Uyghurs are sometimes called spring people, and for good reason, because for a long time, these people decorated both their clothes and wooden utensils with floral ornaments.
Uyghur халқының киімдері ашық түсті болады, етектері кең болады.
Uyghurs wear light-colored clothing and wide skirts. We have a headdress, dopa, in the Kazakh language takiya.
Тақия деп атайды. Мысалға, тақия
For example, it is called chimyan dopa. It is worn by young girls. It's made in Kashgar style.
Қашқар стилі деп қояды, сол чиман доп.
This is a handcrafted coral dopa. They are all handmade and decorated with ornaments.
Қолдан жасалады, оюмен жасалады.
The culture of the Uyghur people is very rich, even musical instruments are different. The Uyghurs decorate them with animal bones and horns, carve everything by hand, and engrave something on the wood surface.
Қолымызда тұрған ұйғыр халық аспаптары.
These are all Uyghur folk instruments. This is nai and this is rabab, and both of them are among the oldest instruments.
Бұл ішекті аспаптары қатар.
This is a stringed instrument, and nai is a wind instrument.
Екеуінде
Both are used in our musical tradition Mukam. Both are ancient instruments.
көне аспаптар. Gidzhak, яғни rejek, ұйғырша.
This is gidzhak, or in Uyghur language, rejek. It appeared in the 4th, 5th centuries, according to the records of the scientist Al-Farabi. In those days, it was two-stringed. Now it has been restored, updated, and has 4 strings like a violin, G-D-A-E.
Қиынтаға бұрау түседі.
It's like kubas for Kazakh people, or rather, prima kubas. This instrument is used not only among the Uyghurs, but also among Uzbeks, Tajiks, and Turkmens. It is also common among the peoples of the Caucasus. There they call it keman.
Кеманча, кеман атауымен кең таралған.
This instrument is a dutar, a stringed instrument, and perhaps one of the most important in Asian instruments. We can compare it with the Kazakh dombra.
Дап, тебілбас, ұрмалы.
This drum is one of the most popular Uyghur percussion instruments. They are used in the performance of such a large-scale musical tradition as Mukam. It takes 2 hours to play one melody. We have 12 melodies and 24 hours to perform a piece.
Сол мұқамды орындап шығу үшін 24 сағат қажет болады.
I teach at the Dolan Academy. I teach gidzhak and violin. Since Kazakhstan is a multinational state, we have students of different ethnic groups who are interested in our culture. These are children from Russian, Uzbek, and Turkish families. They come to us and we teach them.
Бүгін мен сіздерге
Today, I will make you manti from yeast dough.
істеп беремін. Бізге керек ингредиент.
We'll need the following ingredients: flour, yeast, water,
Сұйық май.
vegetable oil for the dough, and then my secret ingredient, mayonnaise.
Салмасына бізге ет пен
For the filling, we need meat and jusai.
ал енді
Let's get started. The main thing is to start the dough. We add the yeast in the amount of a little more than a tablespoon.
кішкене одан да көп болса болады. Су
The water should be warm.
жылы болу керек.
The yeast should rise slightly.
Көтерілу керек.
Then we add salt.
Тұз қосамыз.
Now we add some mayonnaise with water.
Су майын қосамыз.
Now let's mix it all. Then add yeast to flour.
Unға қосамыз.
There are many types of manti in Uyghur cuisine.
Ішіндегі салмасына қарай, қамырына,
They differ in filling and type of dough.
ашытқымен, жусаймен жасауға болады.
For example, you can make dough with yeast and fill it with jusai or meat, or with yeast dough and meat.
Ішіне
We name the manti cooked using yeast-free dough as peter manti. You can add pumpkin with meat or meat with onions.
ет өзімен, етпен, пиязбен жасауға болады. Қамырымызды иле,
So we kneaded the dough, now we grease it with vegetable oil so that it won't dry out.
сұйық маймен майлап қоямыз.
The dough is almost ready. Now we leave it for 30 minutes. It should rise.
Ол көтерілу керек.
Now let's cut the meat.
Етті тураймыз. Біздің үйде
We prefer eating beef in our family, but we use lamb meat for manti too.
болады.
Now we cut the jusai.
Жусайды тураймыз. Бізде әзілдеп айтады.
We have a joke. If the greens have grown, then we would not die of hunger, because the Uyghurs are very fond of different herbs.
Жақсы көреді. Жусайды
Jusai is cut. We need to add salt and spices. Our dough has risen. We will make manti. The main wealth of Kazakhstan is its people. Regardless of the nation, language, religion, and mentality, every Kazakh citizen is valuable. Therefore, over the course of 30 years, the Kazakh nation, who have united people of various ethnic groups, can be called the friendliest country in the world. It's important for all of us to value our unity, a symbol of prosperity, peace, and harmony.
тәуелсіздігіміздің 30 жылдығын
On the 30th anniversary of our independence, I wish the entire Kazakh nation that the sky above us be clear like our flag. Let the flag of Kazakhstan rise high, and may we hear only good news.
биікте желбіре берсін, тек қана жақсы жаңалықтар болсын.